On your knees, dog. All hail. Bow down to the king.
There we go. Wanted to change something up for my somewhat return of Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Tonight I'll be doing my Hell in the Cell pay-per-view predictions. Here I have my guests Mike Colon and Angry Cooter from Main Event Marks, where Cooter hosts his show live every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central. Check them out. Just search it there on YouTube, Main Event Marks, to be able to find each and every episode that he has. He has there. Great content as well. So let me introduce each guest one by one individually. First, Mike Colon, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing on this Friday night?
I'm doing okay. Cooter, how are you?
I'm hanging in there, Coplin. How the hell are you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine.
How come
Ready to go? Ready to talk Hell in the Cell?
Yeah, let's talk a little Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, why don't we? Actually, first off the bat, even before getting into predictions, I guess even in its own prediction, what do you think will be the match that steals the show? The match, your prediction of best match on the card.
Best match on the card?
Yeah, what do you think is going to end up being the best match?
Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Fuck Lesnar. You know what? I'm just for shits and giggles. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt.
And for me, I think that actually could steal the show is actually this pre-show match. The six-man tag can be better than most things, even though most of the superstars that are in it are ones that most want to push more and better situations. So that's where I'm going to go, outside the box from the Lesnar Undertaker or even the John Cena Open Challenge.
There's only one American in that pre-show match. Did you notice that?
Who's that, Dolph?
That's it. Everybody else are internationals.
Well, who do you got? You got King Barrett, Sheamus, and
Neville.
And Neville, okay.
Rusev.
Oh, yeah. And who's the last one?
You got
six-man tag.
Cesaro.
Oh, that's correct. My apologies.
Jamal just turn on America. Had a little stable called the Internationals.
They've already done that.
Have they?
Oh, God, they did something along that. It was a Survivor Series thing, and it was Lex Luger, Tatanka. Oh, God, I forget who the third guy was. Oh, I forget who it was. But then their special partner was The Undertaker, and then when they announced him, he opened up his coat, and the inside of the coat had an American flag, like the inside was an American flag. And they were facing, like, Yokozuna, Ludwig Borga. Oh, God.
I remember
just a bunch of international guys. It was a Survivor Series elimination match.
I remember seeing a meme like that, but instead of the American flag, he had a Confederate flag. You ever see it? Now we're going there tonight.
Don't get me in trouble. This is not my show. I can't do this.
All right, so we'll start off with this pre-show match since we're already kind of in a roundabout way talking about it. Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, Neville versus King Barrett, Sheamus, and Rusev. Go around the circle. Cologne, who do you think's going to get the victory and why?
Well, I'm hoping, that the team of Cesaro, Neville, and Ziggler get the victory. I mean, they had this match on Raw, and the heels won. A clean win, actually. So I think that's like signs setting up for them to lose on Sunday.
No. King Barrett gets the pinfall after brutalizing everybody with the bull hammer, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I think.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
That's a man who gets a push every so often, and the push ends up being such a bad push, and they just botched the ending. Like the whole Nexus angle, or remember when Cena had to be he had to join the Nexus or whatever. Oh, always something, and they always screw him out of like a good payoff. Now he's the king of the ring, where he was getting over as Bad News Barrett, and now we got King Fuckboy, and I can't do this anymore. Can we take the crown off of it, please?
Well, sometimes there was a little WWE creative not doing him right, but also was himself getting injured at inopportune times during his push. I think especially with the Nexus, I think at that time when he was on fire, so to speak, that should have been the time, in my opinion, that they put the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on him at that point. I think he was ready, but as rumors go, Cena didn't want to put him over in general, and then which stopped his push all along. And then most recently, when he was coming back, I was hearing the rumors that he would actually come back as Bad News Barrett instead of continuing this King crap stuff. Because then I thought maybe if they do bring him back with Bad News and the podium and all that other jazz, that maybe WWE might actually give him something more, give him an actual push. I don't know if he would go all the way to WWE World Heavyweight Championship match for winning that belt, but at least something greater than what he is now, just being thrown in this 6-man tag. Even though I do think, like I said, it'll be better than most think. But still, with him being thrown in there, I think it's a wasted opportunity of him. I think, like I said, if he was Bad News, things would be much better for him.
But I'm afraid I got some bad news. He's still wearing that faggoty-ass crown.
Yeah, and that cape.
You know what I find interesting is even on SmackDown this happened. You had Stardust and the Ascension sitting at ringside, or right in front row, and he has his own little Stardust section sign, and he's always teasing Cesaro. So I feel like Stardust might find his way interfering in this somehow, some way. What I thought was cool is I watched SmackDown, and it was funny. You know how like when you see the reaction of fans when something happens and like during the replays, it was cool because you saw like Stardust in the background just acting like a child, like putting his hands in the air, going crazy. It was actually a pretty cool visual.
Yeah, and with Sheamus in this match, makes you wonder: would this be the pay-per-view finally where WWE has Sheamus cash in the Money in the Bank later in the night? What do you guys think are the likelihood of that happening? And would you think that whenever it happens, here or moving forward, do you think it would be successful or unsuccessful? Cooter?
All right, I think that's an interesting take. I would love to see Kane win the WWE World Heavyweight title, even if it was just for 2 seconds, because we were talking about this last night. You're teasing the Triple H Seth Rollins, or Seth Rollins versus, I don't think it's going to be Shawn Michaels, but I mean, we all know it's coming sooner than later. You can't have it at Mania if he's the champion. And I think that's what they're going for. So that's how you're going to get the belt off of him, because you could still have that dissension between Kane being able to say, I took that title off you, and then he doesn't get fired from the Authority. Sheamus has the belt, and maybe he is a new member of the Authority. Who the hell knows? Maybe they get rid of both of them. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of ways you could go with having him cash in. Now, do I think it's likely? No, I don't think they're as clever as the Angry One, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it's possible.
Now, Cologne, what are your thoughts?
I don't see a cash-in happening simply because I don't know if it's time yet. But if Kane does win, yeah, you're definitely going to see a cash-in because that title belt isn't going to stay on him for long. If it doesn't happen that night, it'll happen the next night on Raw.
Right, it could be another situation, Kane having the belt for 24 hours, like back in the day when he won it off of Stone Cold in that first blood match and then dropped the next night.
I remember that. That was 98. Okay,
I
98.
believe so.
Huh.
But anyways, my prediction for this six-man tag, I'm actually going to go with the team of. I'm going to go with Team Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville. I just think even with all these superstars here in this match, I think they just need it more. So I'm going to go with them getting the win here with the kickoff.
All right.
Oh, dang it!
We're live, pal.
I know. Stuff does not want to work when it actually is time, and yet I'm on here 30 minutes before and things are fine.
Well, what's not working?
I have to go back. I can't do it all from my head. Going back and forth on the WWE.com with the list of matches, so I can go through the line.
There's only like 3 or 4.
There's a couple. You want me to whip them out?
No, you
I got
can.
it. I got it here. I got the next one. I'm just gonna go here with the tag team match. New Day versus the Dudley Boys tag team titles.
I kept it PG. Give me my respect, goddammit.
I didn't even go there.
I did. So
Anyway.
the Dudleys and the New Day. I mean, this is hopefully going to end this time around. I got a feeling for ha-has, even if it's probably going to be for one night only. I see a Spike Dudley run-in. I think it happens. I think we get one night only of Spike Dudley to ward off a Consequences Creed or whatever the fuck his name is in WWE. I always forget his goddamn name in WWE.
Xavier Woods.
Thank you. That's why I pay you nothing. You're always talking shit. But yeah, I mean, it would be cool just for them to have that third guy to just kind of counteract Xavier Woods. And I say, oh, the belts finally.
I see the Dudleys winning the titles.
It has to happen.
I see it, but the thing is, I think this feud is just going to continue, just because of the lack of tag teams right now. I think the Dudleys are going to win, and that's going to extend that feud into TLC where they have a tables match, and I think the New Day will beat them at their own game, and that's how the New Day get put over, by beating the Dudleys at their own match.
And for that kind of thinking, I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to go with the New Day successfully defending their tag team championships at Hell in a Cell, because I think the end game is that TLC tables match, the Dudleys winning it with their own game on a pay-per-view with the namesake, and just would be a perfect moment for them to capture the tag team titles. And I kind of hope that the Lucha Dragons get a push themselves. They might be the next ones up to challenge after the New Day have their rematch. I really would hope that they get a chance there, because I think it would be actually a pretty good match with the Lucha Dragons and the Dudley Boys.
You bring up the Lucha Dragons, Copeland. Can I just say something here? Kalista, or whatever the fuck his name, he's great. I really like this kid. But can we just retire the whole idea of Sin Cara and everybody who's played him? Because it just seems whoever puts on that fucking mask it becomes like Botchamania's favorite 2 minutes of the week. There's always something, and it's such an obvious mistake. I mean, we either got to get him a new partner and name him something else, or we need to seriously just get rid of Sin Cara altogether. I love the idea of the Lucha Dragons. It's just that their execution, from what you would see in NXT, is not what they have been doing on the main roster. It's not.
I saw a funny video today with the Lucha Dragons. It was from a Raw pre-show a couple weeks ago when Renee Young was interviewing Kevin Owens, and I don't know how the Lucha Dragons came into play in this interview, but he called out the Lucha Dragons, and he said, fine, Kevin Owens was just joking around. He was like, fine, it's you two versus me and her tonight. And Renee Young, her facial reaction was hilarious. And she just walked away. It was funny. I'll have to post that video so you guys can see it.
Next one, I'm going to go with John Cena, the U.S. Open Challenge, obviously for the United States Championship, with him going to take a vacation for a short time. I think he should be filming his TV show and whatnot. Um, so the rumors around going that he's going to drop it. I mean, I can go either way on that kind of thinking. But I want to get your thoughts first. Who do you think is going to answer the challenge, and do you think they're going to win the U.S. Championship? Hello?
Okay, last night I said it was Daniel Bryan just for the shock value, but I got an even bigger shock value for you guys. You ready for this one? Cooter, I know you're going to get a hard on when you hear this one. Excuse my language.
God.
But I'm going with the man himself, Stan Stansky.
What?
You remember Stan Stansky?
No.
The jobber that Ryback beat the shit out of?
Oh, come on, Cologne. That is what, and you know what? I was gonna pull a fucking Albert and say it's not gonna be Heath Slater. I mean, seriously, you did say Daniel Bryan last night. I was drunk. I don't remember who I said. Do you remember that?
I don't think you got a chance to say anything because you just rambled on about something else.
Yeah, that's usually what I do. I don't usually make any predictions. But
reality though, I am going to stick with the Daniel Bryan. I just wanted to throw the Stan Stansky out there because I actually watched that match the other day and it was fucking hilarious. And if you don't know who Stan Stansky is, just fucking YouTube him.
You know what I would love to see would be, I wouldn't mind seeing fucking Kevin Owens in 2 matches.
That could happen.
It could. They have such great chemistry. And it's bad enough, Cena put one person over for 1 match this year. Clean. Do you actually think he's going to do it to 2? Because if he has to put somebody else over, it's not going to be a clean finish.
No, it's going to be
It's going to be a screw job. It has to be.
Well, if he's taking time off, that means whoever's going to be taking him out, whoever's going to be beating him is going to be taking him out. Because that's the only way. That's the only way you're going to get John Cena off your television if he gets taken out injured.
So you guys
unless he just says that I'm going on vacation like he did that one night in Chicago, but then he was on Raw the next night.
Oh, fuck. Vodka in your eye really burns.
How did you do that?
Shut up, woman. What the fuck was it? We were talking about John Cena Open Challenge, right? If I had to pick somebody off the top of my head, yeah, I'm going Kevin Owens. I want to see him twice. I mean, we've seen Seth Rollins do it. We've seen your man Black Machismo do that in Ring of Honor. Can you imagine what would happen? Now Kevin Owens has both the IC belt, the U.S. title. Let's face it. I mean, how many singles titles do we really need?
Technically, if Kevin Owens wins, he's technically not that, but he's your world champion because that U.S. title has outshined the actual world title by many miles.
No question. And it's a shame because it doesn't matter where John Cena is on the card. He is more what's the word I'm looking for? He's always got to be the man.
The spotlight.
What is Vince going to do when he can't wrestle anymore? God forbid something happens to him in the ring, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But you've done nothing but hold down and choke out all the influx of the NXT talent that's been coming up, giving them bullshit roles and putting them in shitty storylines because they just seem to be guys who they're using that to get John Cena over. A new generation of guys to job to Cena. We've seen enough of Cena Orton. We've seen enough of Cena and Big Show. We've seen enough of Cena versus the World. Triple H, Shawn Michaels. We've seen all that a million fucking times.
I'll tell you what Vince is going to do. He's going to jump out of the 4th floor of Titan Towers. That's the highest floor in his fucking building. Because God forbid John Cena can't fucking wrestle anymore. He has no belief or faith in anything below John Cena right now.
And that's his own fault.
Well, I was going to say, except for Roman Reigns. like that. But he's pushing Roman Reigns to be John Cena 2.0.
It's not going to happen.
And
I don't think
it sucks.
John Cena at least has a following, whether it be children and women or whatever. You know what I mean? Roman Reigns does not have that same following. I mean, the marks hate John Cena. The kids and the ladies love John Cena. Everybody seems to hate Roman Reigns. I mean, certain towns he gets pops, yeah, sure. But he doesn't get, like, cheers. You don't get a, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. You just get kind of nothing. The crowd kind of no-sells him.
Do you remember when, like, back in the day during the Shield days, when everybody loved Roman, when the idea was thrown up that Roman might be that next guy, all the marks are clamoring over that. And now they're pushing him to be like this next John Cena, and now we want nothing to do with it. With that. I think maybe if I think all Roman needs to do is just turn heel. Just turn heel, get booed just to get booed, and I guarantee you after time you'll organically will get over with the crowd being a heel.
Well, that's what happened with The Rock. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
The Rock did the exact same thing. And I want to throw this out there, too. I mean, I think when Roman was with the Shield and people were really getting behind him, they liked him as a part of the Shield. And the reason he got cheered so much, especially in that Royal Rumble match, was just because they did not want Batista. I guarantee you, if you had anybody in that ring at that time with Batista,
you could have had Stan Stansky.
Dude, and they would have cheered him over Batista because they did not want him. You could have put Mike Colon in the ring.
And I would have got cheered in Philly.
You goddamn right. That being said, the WWE took that pop the wrong way, I think. It was like, okay, we saw them cheer the shit out of this guy. We see him getting cheered with the shit. It's different. I mean, here's a good example. And we all know I'm a big Virgil mark, right? Everybody loved Virgil, or the idea of the character of Virgil, when he was with the $1 Million Man. It worked. It was a great character. The two of them together, right? What happened to Virgil when he had the program, worked with Ted, won the belt? What happened to him after that? He was doing jobs to nails and putting in 8-man tags at WrestleMania one time.
Yeah. Let me throw something at you. That since you're talking about, because everybody cheered him because of the Royal Rumble, but I think another reason why everybody cheered him and loved him so much, because he was like the muscle of the Shield. He didn't say much. He went in there and beat the shit out of people. He had Dean Ambrose as his mouthpiece, and he had Rollins doing the spectacular moves, and then you had the muscle coming and taking care of business.
It was a big balance of everything.
Everything.
The group was a complete. That group is what your best star should be in one person, not all three.
And I think when the Shield broke up and they went their separate ways, he could have had a chance to succeed on his own, but they're not pushing him to be Roman Reigns. They're pushing him to be a Cena 2.0, and that's where they failed.
Right, and in my way of thinking, for when the Shield broke up, or at least I thought before that even happened, that when they do break up, that Roman Reigns would be the number one person. It would be Roman Reigns, Dean, Seth. That was last. And ended up flipping the script. Seth Rollins is the one that I got to push now as the quote-unquote man and everything, and Dean and Roman here are in limbo. I just thought with everything you guys were saying, with being the muscle and everything, I just thought that maybe, not just on how WWE was going to portray him, but just in general, I thought he was going to be their marquee man right away after leaving the Shield, and being the first one to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship out of said Shield. Well before Seth Rollins would even sniff it. Now, obviously, that's not the case, but that's what I thought before they broke up. Now, back to this match with John Cena. I would love to see Dean Ambrose, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to go with what I said last night, and I'm still going to go with Tyler Breeze still being the one to answer the challenge, win the U.S. Championship. Even though he kind of was spoiled, the whole surprise aspect of it with him debuting on SmackDown with Summer Rae, which by the way was a great move in my opinion. I mean, Summer Rae in her new role being a manager, and now with obviously Tyler Breeze was with the Rusev. and everything. I think she's doing well in that kind of role.
And we still get to see those lovely long legs and those big, beautiful breastises.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Remember-
even though it was spoiled, I'm still going to go with Breeze being the one that went to the challenge. But even with me saying that, don't take me to think that I automatically think that whoever answers this challenge has to win the championship. Just because John Cena's taking a break doesn't mean WWE is put into a corner and have to have Cena drop the belt. I mean, Lesnar was WWE World Heavyweight Champion with his limited schedule. Definitely broke that 30-day rule thing with that title, and that one, supposed to be more important, being the main title. So with John Cena in the U.S. title, if I wouldn't be surprised if whoever answered the challenge lost and Cena retained,
Can't see me.
and then came back into the United States champion. So I wouldn't put it over on them for doing that. Cologne, do you think that with John Cena leaving, that WWE has to take the title off him?
Yeah, they need to, because then that's another way of Cena holding people back. That title was brought up, and it's been made special now. So why would they take the title away, take it off of TV when it's been elevated higher than your world title? It makes no sense. They have to take it off him and put it on somebody, and that's going to help elevate somebody. And if they don't, then, like I said, that's just another way of people being held back.
Cooter?
I'm sorry, you were saying?
Yes, I was asking. Just because John Cena is going to be taking a break, do you think WWE has to have him drop the title?
Absolutely. That title has prestige now because of John Cena, and I think somebody else can carry that torch if they let him carry the torch the way that Cena was allowed to present that belt every week on television, defend that belt the way it's supposed to be defended. It has to go to somebody else. It just does.
So you agree with Cologne with if they do keep it on Cena, that it would be WWE's holding people back and having Cena over? Is that the way you're thinking there, Cooter? That would be just bad?
I think if they leave that belt on Cena, you're basically saying to all the boys in the back, you're not good enough to hold a mid-card belt. There's something wrong with that. If your management and the only person you have faith in is John Cena, why even have a show at this point? Why not just start firing everybody off from the roster and start from scratch? Because, John Cena is the only guy who's worth of anything. That's how it seems. I mean, we discussed the differences between the Brock Lesnar podcast and John Cena's podcast last night, or at least I tried to. But I'm going to reiterate a point. No, I'm serious, and I'm not trying to bring this up to be a jerk off, but the point I want to make is, John Cena talks really good about this guy and good about that guy, and he's putting them over verbally. But what is he doing for them in the ring? Nothing. They're giving him great matches. They're making him look good. And he's not giving anybody the nod. Oh, yeah, he's a great worker. Oh, Cesaro, let me bring you out at the end of the show and try to get you over with Vince and the fans and all this bullshit off camera. But, if you really mean that, then you would do it behind the curtain too, and not just in front of the fans, and not just in front of the camera on a podcast. That's why I have a little bit of respect for Brock Lesnar for calling it like it is. And I don't know, Cologne, you got a little upset about that, about him not telling the stories. But I want to say this, because he didn't put this guy over and he wouldn't talk about OVW. And I understand as a fan that's something that you want to hear about, and you'd love to hear road stories and stuff like that. And I tried bringing up the point of how many people do I hang out with outside of work. We got to remember something, Cologne. This is a television show, too. I mean, give me an example, Cologne, of another television show that you watch other than pro wrestling.
I watch a lot of TV.
All right. Well, name a show that I would probably watch. Gotham, right?
Gotham. I was gonna say something else until you said probably watch. But Gotham or The League. You ever watch The League?
No. I want to use Gotham as a perfect example.
Use Gotham.
All right. Would it bother you that the guy who plays Jim Gordon and Detective Bullock don't like each other and don't hang out outside of the show?
No,
because
I
that
don't
basically
really
goes along the. But see, that goes along the same lines. You talk about Brock Lesnar not putting over his peers, but in movies and television, you hear a lot about people who are hard to work with and people who just don't get along with people off the set or on the set, on and off the set, as a matter of fact. So I mean, just because you're not buddy-buddy with everybody doesn't mean you can't work with them. And that's why, as bad as he came across in that sense, like, I respect him for saying it. Because, again, when I look at somebody like John Cena who pushes everybody down your throat how great they is, but is not putting them over and is not helping them behind the scenes. He's not doing it. He's trying to make himself look good in all aspects, and his performance and the way that he lets the fans think that he's trying to help the boys out. It's all bullshit. It really, to me, is transparent, and that's the difference.
No, I agree with the whole Cena thing. He is not doing anything for anybody. It just, for me, it's just like the whole Lesnar thing just really got under my skin, and I expected it to get under my skin. But the way it got under my skin, it just did a little more damage than what I thought.
We never got to why. Why did that get under your skin so bad? I mean, I know.
And then this is my reason why. Because when he first signed with the WWE, and they were on ESPN, and he seemed so like organically happy and like just happy to be there, and he was like, he put over the peers in the locker room. And he was just happy to be a professional wrestler or a sports entertainer, like that. And then we come to the Stone Cold podcast, where it was a completely different person. And it was just like, what the hell? Like, before you were putting over the WWE, how it was the greatest thing ever, and you put the UFC behind you, and all of a sudden you're on the WWE's network putting over the UFC more than the people that are putting money in your pocket. And
I don't really see how he really put them over. He talked about, the Fertitta brothers and Dana being great employers.
He pretty much said they were better at doing business with. And you agreed with me on that yesterday.
No, I agreed with you that he seemed to put over UFC more than WWE. He was more willing to talk about his UFC career.
A lot more.
Of course. And you got to also wonder this. Here's two other possibilities. In terms of like when they brought up the lawsuit, maybe there were certain things that Vince told him don't talk about.
I don't know. I think
nobody ever really thought of that. I mean,
I think
it's been known to go off a script on those podcasts. And the other thing I want to think about is, you said something last night that really got me thinking, was something along the lines of, if Austin could beat the crap out of Lesnar, he probably would have, for the way he was disrespecting the business. What if that whole thing was a work?
You know what? I mean,
I just thought of that.
Now you have me thinking about
my third shit at work, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, Cologne got pissed off, and I'm literally watching you getting mad at me from main event marks, and when I heard you say that, I was like, what if this whole thing was a work, and they're planting the seed for Austin to get mad at him for disrespecting the business, but have somebody else do the dirty work, because he's not having the match.
That would be something that I could play into. That's actually, now that you bring that up, that's actually kind of interesting now that I think about it. They kind of brought Lesnar in there to be like this dick and just shit on the business.
And you got to remember his debut too. I mean, when he re-debuted and they had those little vignettes where he was actually cutting promos. He's like, I'm an ass kicker. I'm a prize fighter. I'm just here to beat people up and cash my checks.
I did love those promos.
You did, and now because he said it for real on a podcast, we're in an era now where we're not sure, where the fourth wall is.
But those promos were the Lesnar, which I thought were the Lesnar character. And then again, now he comes on the podcast where they do break kayfabe a lot. Or that. So him coming off as a complete dick, it's just like really, like not for nothing. Like it got to me. It did.
You might be being worked, Mike Colon. That's all I gotta say.
And you want to know something? Like, now that you bring it up, now I'm like conspiracy. It's a fucking conspiracy.
I hope it's a work.
If it's a work, then I will stand up and fucking applaud the WWE for fucking getting me fired up over this shit, and I would fucking be fully invested into what they're doing right now.
Well, moving on from that, next match, Kevin Owens versus Ryback for the Intercontinental Championship. Intercontinental Championship, Kevin Owens versus Ryback. Who do you got and why, Cologne?
I want to go Kevin Owens just because I think he's a better guy to have that belt. And the reason why, I kind of felt like Ryback, me personally, I felt like his title reign was stale. It just didn't fit. And Kevin Owens is a better heel when he has a belt on him. Because he's, he seems like he's just a better person. Like, he's better than chasing. He comes off as like this asshole. Going back to like kind of how Lesnar was, he's the Lesnar character, or that in a way.
Oh,
God. But in the kayfabe walls like that. So I think it's Kevin Owens who keeps the belt.
Cooter?
No, I gotta agree with that for the most part. Kevin Owens is the better heel, and he is the better heel when he has a belt. For no other reason other than Ryback sucks ballsack, and his character sucks ballsack. He does. Let's be honest. I mean, Ryback was the Mr. Feed Me More, and now he's walking around handing kids fucking necklaces, like creepy Uncle Paul Hargis or some shit like that. Like something weird. Like, you're not Bret Hart giving the kid your sunglasses. There's something creepy about like a 300+ pounder pulling his necklace off and putting it around a kid's neck. It's like, you're supposed to be this wrecking machine, and now it's like when he sits down and does like commentary or does like an interview, they have him trying to speak so eloquently now, and it's just like, oh my God, I want to kill you, because that's not who you are. That's not your character.
You bring that up, and it's funny because not only is he trying to speak eloquently, but he's speaking in that raspy voice like that, like he's freaking Batman or something.
Yes, I do believe I'll have a spot of tea. What the fuck was that?
But he was funny though at the. I don't know if you guys watched the Table for Three episode with him, Daniel Bryan, and who's the other guy? No, Dean Ambrose. No, it wasn't Dean Ambrose. Sorry, it was Daniel Bryan, him, and Ziggler. I'm sorry, and Ziggler. And they were talking about how do they impress Brock Lesnar, and they were spreading rumors that Ryback takes Viagra and walks around in a singlet.
Get out of here!
You gotta watch that episode, dude. It's priceless. Daniel Bryan spread rumors around the locker room, said that the way Ryback likes to impress Brock Lesnar is he takes Viagra and walks around all day in his singlet. It was a great episode. I highly recommend you to watch that one.
I do got to see that one, and I also want to rewatch the one with Ambrose, Cesaro, and fucking
Owens.
Owens, yeah, that. But Owens wasn't saying much when he was on there.
No, I was
quiet that night.
You know what? I expected that one to be good, and it really wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
Ambrose did most of the talking.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think they just did one Table for Three with The Miz, R-Truth, and Curtis Axel.
I heard that one was good.
Yeah, that was enjoyable. At least for me, I liked it.
It's almost like they're doing shoot interviews or a video style, but with like 3 people. And it's a cool concept.
Well, Table for Three and Unfiltered are two of my best, or at least for me personally, best WWE programming there on the WWE Network, original programming. I don't know if you guys have you guys seen Unfiltered with Renee Young?
I have actually, yeah. It's actually pretty cool. I think, but the whole difference is that Unfiltered, it's like she's like interviewing you, where in Table for Three, it's like just go sit down at the table and talk about anything.
I agree. Yeah.
And
I think
but
she just
Unfiltered,
Finn Balor.
You just like Renee Young.
who doesn't like
I
Renee
do.
Young?
Listen.
Summer Rae is my number one, but she's number two.
Whoa, Copland talking about bitches. Can we do this real quick? Can we take a break from the Hell in a Cell real quick? And I got to ask a special favor of my cologne.
What's up?
I need to hear the voice.
Listen, it's not your show.
I'm asking permission to hear the Page voice.
You don't have to. Let's save it for the end.
Oh, boo.
I know Copland wants to get through this review. Let's get through the review. Or the predictions.
Next match, Charlotte versus Nikki Bella for the WWE Divas Championship. Kind of hard to transition from that.
Charlotte is a member of Team PCB, Copland, which also has Paige on that team. Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Paige is a member of PCB again. Bad booking. I'm going to go with Charlotte. Well, now that I think about it, I do see Paige maybe getting involved. WWE booking style, Paige will get involved somehow.
Of course. Because she's doing all those backstage vignettes, talking about how, those are her friends and this, that, the other thing. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm gonna go with Charlotte successfully defending. I still have a feeling that the long-term book is going to be Charlotte versus Sasha Banks for the Divas Championship at WrestleMania. At WrestleMania 32, there was Sasha getting her moment winning the title there, so I think Charlotte's going to be mowing down the competition until we get to that point.
You know what I would get fully invested in? And maybe this is just me, but I would really get invested in Becky Lynch chasing the belt. Or like them building that character from scratch, building her to become a contender. Because there's something about Becky Lynch in the ring. She's great in the ring, I think, and she doesn't get enough respect on the main roster than I think she deserves.
Right, she certainly didn't get that respect with that pipe bomb that they had Paige do as well. But then again, that's from the WWE universe, saying that she's the most irrelevant one out of all the divas. Then again, I also would like to see Natalya getting back in the mix. Maybe her getting a Divas Championship.
Has she ever had a run with the belt?
Yeah, she has. I think she had one or two.
Oh.
That was a long time ago.
It feels like forever ago.
We talk about Paige getting involved in this match, and I don't see it happening because I think she's still in the doghouse.
Well, I think she's definitely in the doghouse. The way that they're booking her, the way that she should have been booked is that pipe bomb should have been like her heel turn, and she should have been like a straight heel and like causing hell. But she's flip flopping back and forth in this horrible booking, and so that could be a way of her punishment too. But it's so hard to predict because she is in the doghouse, so maybe they might just keep her off of the pay-per-view and not give her that pay-per-view fuck money.
Paige and fuck money in the same sentence. That could only go one place.
Well, that hasn't been said in a long time.
Go ahead, Cologne. Just get it out of the way. You don't want to keep breaking your balls.
No. No.
He's teasing it, ladies and gentlemen. He's teasing it.
Oh.
The first of the Hell in a Cell matches, Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. We'll start with Angry Cooter here first. Who do you think is going to get the win here and finally actually finish this feud?
This feud is not going to end at Hell in a Cell, I don't think. We have 4 members of the Wyatt family now. Unless Luke Harper is in trouble for the Chris Jericho picture. But I don't see how he could get in trouble for that. It's not like he posted the fucking picture. He's just got a bunch of boys wearing like, where did they get those T-shirts? Does anybody know?
Someone made them and they wore them. I want one of those shirts. I've been looking around all day for fun.
I was looking at them.
It's great. WWE was smart. They would just put that on the fucking WWEshop.com.
I guarantee you everybody's been looking for that shirt. That's one. So now you got 4 members of the Wyatt family, right? All of a sudden, fucking, the upside down Sheamus comes back with his fucking beard longer than ever. I say this ends at Survivor Series. I say we have a traditional 4-on-4 matchup, or maybe even bring War Games into it.
5.
What do you mean 5?
Survivor Series, 5 guys.
No, traditionally it's been 4.
It's 5.
No, I think it's 5.
It's 4.
It's 5.
Maybe in the last couple of years, but originally it was 4-on-4.
What are you talking about? 88?
88 all the way up until like a couple of years ago, yeah.
I'm gonna look this up.
Please do, because don't argue with me. And while you look this up, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Bray Wyatt gets the win because you got those 3 bastards on the outside of that cage. You're just gonna bust in that door at some point, and they're just gonna destroy Roman. Roman's gonna have to get Ambrose. He's gonna have to get 2 other guys, and it's not gonna be Orton. And it sure as shit ain't going to be Chris Jericho. So who do we get to really end this feud? Because I don't think it ends. I don't think it does. Yeah, keep looking it up, asshole. Yeah, thank you. Don't even tell me I'm right, because I already know.
What do you mean you already know?
4-on-4, traditional Survivor Series matches.
Where? I haven't even found it yet. You are very hostile today, sir.
Fuck you. You wouldn't do the voice.
Drink your liquor. Loosen up. Relax. It's okay.
While you keep looking that up, I'm going to go with my prediction. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns getting the win, finishing off this at least one-on-one rivalry, because I agree there with Cooter that they're going to have a traditional Survivor Series match with the Wyatt family and the Team Roman Reigns, or whatever they want to call them, with Ambrose and others there at Survivor Series. But for this match, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns. Cologne, what do you think is going to get the win here at this first Hell in a Cell match?
I think it's going to be Roman Reigns. Because if the WWE is trying to push him as the next John Cena, he has to get over on Bray Wyatt.
Ha! I got it.
Did you find it?
Tag team matches are the same as a normal tag team match, except that a wrestler who suffers a loss is eliminated for participation. The match continues until all members of the team are eliminated. WWE uses the term Survivor Series match to denote an 8 or 10 person match held during their yearly Survivor Series pay-per-view.
Right, 8 or 10.
Angry Cooter is the fucking
8 or 10, so it goes both ways. So technically, the glass.
It's only been 10 the last few years.
The glass is half full and it's half empty.
It's about 75% full because they've been only doing it the last couple of years. I'm a historian. You don't want to fuck with me, Cologne.
All I heard was, "Oh my goodness," from your girlfriend.
She just saw my cock. I don't know. What do you want from me, all right? Let's finish this up. Let's talk Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. Why you keep going off topic?
Me? You're the one who went off topic, motherfucker.
I was trying to talk about Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, and you just totally interrupted poor Copeland again. You keep shutting out Copeland. You need to apologize to that man.
Anyways, moving on. WWE World.
Why do you keep interrupting him?
You just interrupted the poor guy.
I did that for the goof. I know. I'm sorry. Continue.
WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins champion against the Demon Kane. Who do you think is going to get the win with this whole now added stipulation? With if Kane does not win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Corporate Kane will be relieved of his duties as Director of Operations. With that interesting twist, or at least I personally thought was an interesting twist to add to this match, because when I saw it from the beginning, thought it was going to be Seth Rollins 100%, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But you add that little caveat, it makes a person wonder, it makes a mind wander. thinking maybe they will put it on Kane, whether it is for those couple of seconds, as Angry Cooter was talking about earlier with the cash in and keeping him as corporate Kane. But what do you guys think? Who do you think's going to win and why? Angry Cooter?
I think Kane wins that match by some sort of screw job. Like, he does something to teach Seth Rollins a lesson, because Seth Rollins has been this whiny pain in the ass. He has not been grateful for the way the Authority has helped him out and helped him win that belt and help him hold on to that belt. So I'm going with Kane by hook, by crook, and then I'm going in with the cash.
Okay, well, before Cologne goes, I'm going to go with my prediction before I don't have the chance or time to. I'm going to go with Kane as well, winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, because I think they want to keep corporate Kane there, doing promos and everything with those backstage segments and everything that are, at least for me, enjoyable, and have him as champion, whether it's just for a couple minutes or for 24 hours or for 1 month. I think they're going to put the title on him for the reason of, the storyline having him humble Seth Rollins, and also for WWE, giving honors to Kane in a way, because it'll be his last and final run as champion, and near the end of his career. I think they're just going to give him get the title and have him, whether short or long reign he has, be kind of a gift from them to him. So I'm going to go with Kane. Michael, how do you see this playing out?
So if Demon Kane loses, Corporate Kane loses his job, Glenn loses his 401k, fucking Mrs. Jacobs divorces Glenn, fucking Glenn's daughter is a whore. I don't. This match. You ever see a picture of freaking Kane's daughter?
No.
No, I never have.
Oh, God, she's a looker.
There you go. What's her name?
I don't know. Corporate daughter, fucking demon daughter. Anyway, well, while you're looking, there's a picture, and maybe I'll send it to you. I think I got it on my phone somewhere, but
that's just creepy.
I do, because I sent it to Paulie the other day, because I was just like, Jesus Christ. But let me get back on the topic, and that I see Seth Rollins winning simply because of the fact that, maybe they're changing storylines up a bit. I don't know. It'd be cool to see Kane win the belt for a little bit and see a cash in, but I don't see that happening. So I'm going to go with Seth Rollins.
I also have a feeling that maybe Triple H might get involved. We keep talking about a Seth Rollins Triple H match, and maybe it'll be at Survivor Series, where I thought a while ago, talking on a different podcast, that I thought that would be a perfect time for them to have that match and not hold off for Mania or anything like that, because I think Triple H will be in a different program in a different match at WrestleMania, i.e. against The Rock at that time. But maybe him getting involved here, helping Kane win the belt, and maybe even stopping a cash in himself personally as COO or whatever, however they book that. Then have Kane win, have Seth Rollins being pissed off in a promo the night after, and have Triple H versus Seth Rollins at Survivor Series. The main event, the last match obviously on the card, The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar Hell in a Cell match. Cologne, who do you think's going to get the win, and how do you think this match is going to shape up?
I found the picture. I'm going to send it to you right now, Cooter.
Oh, shit. She's not bad looking. Send me that other one, though. I'm going to make sure it's the same girl.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to... I think the wise decision is to maybe go with Lesnar, the win. But I feel like they're going to pull a swerve. And I read this article about... The hell? Oh. I feel like... Because I read an article, and I think they might go with it. The fact that, Taker might do some heelish stuff. Someone might get involved to get Taker to win, because Taker can't beat Lesnar clean. So he's going to do it somehow, some way. That match is really, for me, it's just hard to predict, because I think it might go either way.
Cooter?
I'm hoping Brock Lesnar breaks The Undertaker's neck. And I'm just leaving it at that. I don't even want to talk about The Undertaker ever again. I wonder, do I still have this here? Yeah, I do. Hold on. You guys see this right here? You see this?
Yes, yes.
I hope that happens to The Undertaker.
We didn't get, so I didn't see what you just did.
You heard it, right? Smash.
You
Crush.
suplexed a toy.
I suplexed the toy. You're goddamn right.
Toy doesn't
I'm
fight
tired.
back.
I'm tired. Seriously, my grandfather's 88 years old. He looks in better shape than that fucking asshole. I wish he would just retire and get it over with. Let's put you in the Hall of Fame right now. Hopefully, we never see you on TV again because HD is not friendly to fucking Undertaker. It's just not.
I respect it. I mean, my grandfather's 96 and looks and feels even better than the Undertaker.
And I mean, they got 2007 Undertaker being promoted.
Exactly.
This is going great.
That just so happens to be my ringtone too for text messages.
I'm gonna go with the Undertaker over Brock Lesnar. I just, as much as maybe logic says that I should go with Brock, I just have a feeling that I just can't avoid of WB going with the Undertaker here. And I still also think that maybe we'll still get that Taker Sting match at WrestleMania, depending on if Sting will even be healthy enough to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Undertaker defeating Brock Lesnar in the Hell in a Cell match, the main event, finishing off the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you guys predict or think that this pay-per-view is going to do with your expectations and your predictions? How would you rate Hell in a Cell, or what do you think Hell in a Cell is going to rate out to be?
I think it's going to be one of the worst pay-per-views of the year. I really do. I think, quite honestly, we're going to get a bum of a surprise for the fucking Cena challenge. We're not going to have anything fan-friendly that the marks would want to see, and somehow I think Undertaker is going to pull out a victory. I just see nothing but bad storylines in the future because of the repercussions, oh wow, of this pay-per-view. Cologne.
Yes.
She definitely has her father's tits. Oh boy.
Does your girlfriend have a mic? Because I hear her loud and clear.
No, I use the mic off the computer.
Oh, okay.
This mic doesn't work anymore.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. All right. Well, my prediction for this, I already said my prediction. Why am I going off on it? Oh, the pay-per-view. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about doing the match again. The pay-per-view, I think it's not going to be the best pay-per-view. I think there's going to be a lot of disappointments. I think they could do so much with that surprise opponent, and just like what Cooter said, I think it's just going to be a disappointment. It would have been great if they didn't debut Tyler Breeze on SmackDown and waited to Hell in a Cell, but they like to do things prematurely a lot. And so that would have been an awesome surprise. But even if they use Tyler Breeze, it's not going to be as big as it would have been if that was his official debut. So I'll give that pay-per-view, I want to say, a 4 out of 10.
And for me, I'm going to give the pay-per-view a 6 out of 10. I think even with the early surprise or early debuting of Tyler Breeze, I think it's still going to be a great moment if they actually have him win. Now, if he is the one to answer the challenge and loses, then that will be an entirely different story. But if he wins it, I think that, along with the Undertaker Brock Lesnar match that I'm highly looking forward to myself, I think those things are going to carry the show for me. I'll go with a 6 out of 10. Well, thank you guys for being here. You Good Sports. You guys, any last words on the pay-per-view or anything WWE? And plug your stuff as well. Cologne?
Well, follow me on Twitter at Mike Cologne for real. And my special message
To Paige, I don't want you to talk while I'm fucking you.
I don't want to hear you talking like this during the sex, though. I want you to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. I'll shove your face in the... Alright, let me stop right now.
It's starting to
Well,
sound like a fourth situation, you know.
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter, at Mike Cologne for real. That's good. That's it.
Angry Critter?
Well, you can follow angry_cooter and, you know, follow the main event marks on Twitter at main event_marks and, you know, like the show on facebook.com/main event marks.
Well, thanks guys for being here. I appreciate it. Enjoy talking Hell in a Cell WWE. My next video for those watching live or will be watching later will be my NFL podcast next Wednesday. I might throw in a Gravity Falls video on Tuesday after Weird Mageddon Part 1 that airs on Monday night. We'll see how my schedule goes. Check out my Twitter handle for my podcast at WB_podcast, as you see there in the banner, at Army_strong_06 for my information about Gravity Falls and even a little bit about politics. I might be doing a political episode talking about the Democratic, their first debate that they had earlier in the month. So definitely can check that out on this channel. And if you're enjoyed this episode and any of my other content, welcome to subscribe as well, like, share, and all that other jazz as well. So enjoy your weekend, enjoy WWE pay-per-view Hell in a Cell, and take care.